It is my pleasure to welcome family, friends, teachers, staff, and students to celebrate the class of 2020 on their graduation day. I am Hannah Hathaway, and it is an honor to be able to speak on behalf of my class. First of all, I want to thank all of our family, friends, and the community for the constant love and support during our time as Falcons. Also, I would like to recognize the teachers and staff at GCMS for their guidance, compassion, and patience. We truly owe you for all that we have become. Being a GCMS Falcon has been an unforgettable journey that has prepared each and every one of us for our future. These past 4 years have been memorable and influential in our lives. Individually, our experiences have been unique, but we all share a common bond, being the class of 2020. It has been said, challenges are what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Through the difficulties we have experienced, our bond will never be broken. The class of 2020 will forever be remembered.
It is my pleasure to present to you this year's scholarship winners. Each year, our seniors turn in applications for local scholarships. Committees review these applications and winners are chosen. I am pleased to announce the following scholarship winners. Faculty and staff select a Student of the Year for each academic subject for each grade level. The winners of the Student of the Year for this year's class of 2020 are as follows. I am proud to announce our Latin Honors as a special recognition for our highest achieving students of this year's graduating class. Students earning a 3.7 GPA and above are recognized for their hard work and dedication during their academic careers. The following students have earned these prestigious academic awards. Cum laude, meaning with honor, and a GPA of 3.70 to 3.849. Magna cum laude, meaning with great honor, and a GPA of 3.85 to 3.999. Summa cum laude, meaning with highest honor and a GPA of 4.0 and above.
Hello everybody. This isn't how I expected to be giving this speech, but I'm glad I have the opportunity. This year ended abruptly and with confusion. It'd been like we watched all the Marvel movies starting at the very first Iron Man and ended with the last Avengers, Infinity War. Except right before the end of that last movie, it just stops and we have to go home. We don't have the satisfaction of finishing that final film, but I realize what we do have is all the other movies we can look back on. So I wanted to talk about some memories from preschool to senior year, but then I realized that we all had a different experience with different memories or interpretations, so I tried to think of some that we could all relate to. Most of us attended Busy Hands Preschool. The only thing I remember from those years is the hot seat, a designated chair for those of us behaving badly, and of course our wonderful teacher, Miss K. In kindergarten, we would shape metal clothes hangers and cover them in tissue paper and construction paper to make seasonal objects, and we'd have to bring in a towel to sleep on for nap time. In first grade, we put together the hallway jungle, and some of us got to hear Miss Peterson read books with her puppets. In second grade, those that were in Mrs. Akers' class were able to watch Spencer Meenan and I's amazing plays we would write and perform during class. In third grade, we started state testing in Falcon football, and the jungle power in PE was more competitive than ever. Fourth grade brought us more fun with a trip to the Lincoln Memorial and chinchillas in Mrs. Russo's room, in addition to learning an instrument, the recorder. Fifth grade was our first taste of middle school with moving classes and band, which was a big step up from the recorder. We were also given the dreaded the talk. And all of a sudden we were in middle school. The sixth grade brought us new class periods and the Living Wax Museum, along with the introduction of chorus. This was also the start of competitive sports. Now, seventh grade was a strange year because we were the middle class in the building. And I recall having to throw and catch a ball in Mr. Hogstradt's class to answer a question, and we watched Liberty Kids in social studies. Then eighth grade came. We were so close to high school, and we're at the top of the school, the middle school, that is. We dissected frogs in Miss Bierman's class, and we took the Constitution test for Mr. Barry. We shot off bottle rockets in Mr. Dinkins' math class, and we had a reading contest for Miss Rubart's. And those that were in Miss Bierman's enrichment visited the annex once a month. We also had a very competitive door decorating contest between enrichments. Then we were able to go to Washington, D.C. for an amazing experience, where I was even left on a bus after falling asleep. In the blink of an eye, we were having our 8th grade promotion and moving on to high school. The last 4 years of our journey together was starting. We experienced homecoming weeks with parades, games, powder puff, and TPing. We held class elections, and you guys got the best president you could have for the past 3 years. And of course, Daniel Jones your freshman year. We listened to Darren Bauer walk into the hallway playing music every morning before first hour. We took PSATs before finally taking the dreaded SAT. We got our licenses and started driving to school. We had competitive game days in PE. We sat through pep assemblies and participated in spirit weeks. And we watched the classes above us graduate and move on with their lives. We watched sporting events, musicals, and concerts to support one another. We've even seen our football team go to state twice, which was a really cool experience. We have always been a competitive class, athletically and academically, and this has pushed us to be better individuals and ready to take on challenges as adults. I know this year didn't end how we expected. You're supposed to have a senior prom and graduation, and most importantly, time spent together as a class. But I'm not worried at all, because we've always been a close group and supportive of one another. And as you grow, don't let these memories fade. I know this video will probably still be around, and I'm sure I'll be embarrassed by it, but I hope it allows you to think about and remember these fun times. And thank you to all of the teachers, parents, and administrators who have gotten us to this point in our lives. You've made the past 13 years truly special. And to the GCMS class of 2020, I'm proud of you all, and I look forward to seeing what you guys will do in the future. Thank you for allowing me to be your class representative. I'll miss you all and hope you stay in touch. Thank you.
Now that we are graduating, our futures are about to begin. We have grown from children into young adults alongside each other, and now each of us are preparing to enter the real world. Well, we have seen the real world over these past few hectic months, and it's been kind of scary. Our class has experienced unprecedented circumstances, a time for which no warning could have prepared us. However, we must not let what has occurred to negatively impact our next steps in life. Instead, we must utilize this setback as motivation to move forward and conquer the real world head-on.
We must also transform any sadness or grief we may have felt into a driving force to achieve our dreams. Each of us is unique, and we will all choose our own paths and develop unique dreams moving forward. Some of us will enter the workforce right away. Some of us will join the military and proudly serve our country. Some of us will attend college to obtain a degree. Regardless of what path you choose, embrace it. Embrace that you are an accomplished individual eagerly working to accomplish more. Do not let societal standards or the standards of those surrounding you limit what you do, because in the end, it's your life and your happiness. No one should dictate what you do in life except for you. Aim to be the best you can possibly be and create an everlasting imprint on this world. Additionally, always strive to learn more. The world is constantly evolving, and you can never learn enough new material. Whether it be a simple skill that requires a weekend to learn, or an entirely new profession later on, be a continuous learner looking to achieve more and expand your knowledge and your dreams. Also, I must emphasize a cliche yet utterly important statement. Do not be afraid to fail. If you are afraid and never take a chance, you risk missing out on the positive outcomes that could have potentially resulted. If you do fail, do not be ashamed. Get back up and try again, but most importantly, learn from the previous mistakes. Figure out what exactly went wrong, correct that mistake, and make another attempt. It may seem ideal and easy to give up in the moment, but do not let failing prevent you from accomplishing your goals. I conclude with a challenge to all of you. This world needs more leaders, so take the necessary steps to become an effective leader and make change happen. Find something you are passionate about and devote yourself to it. Develop the aspiration to lead, and you will guide yourself and others toward success. You must believe in yourself. You can do anything you want to in life, and believing in yourself is the first critical part in making yourself able to do so. There will be doubters, and when there are, tell yourself that you can. You can do it, and envision yourself overcoming their doubt. I'm thankful to have grown up with you all, GCMS Class of 2020, and I wish you all luck in achieving your dreams and your futures. Now go out confidently, out into that real world. It will get less scary every day.
Hello, Class of 2020. My name is Josh Johnson, and I proudly serve as your GCMS School Board President. On behalf of my fellow school board members, the GCMS administration, faculty, and staff, we congratulate you. I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes. It is what it is, but it will become what you make it. Life. Life is what it is, but it will become what you decide to make it. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's that we should never take anything for granted. It has shown us that life is not easy or simple. Life can be very difficult. But as the quote says, it will become what you make it. You all possess the spirit of GCMS, grit, and determination. That spirit will serve you well. You've handled the most terrible circumstances with grace and dignity. You're not allowing circumstances out of your control to define your journey. You're embracing the unexpected, and you're making the most of the journey. You have the opportunity to embrace the most unique circumstance that any of us have ever experienced, to own it, and to make it your own. You've stuck together, and you've weathered the storm. You are your only limit. Take a good look at yourself in the mirror, because that is your only competition. Will it be easy? Nope. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. The harder you work for it, the greater you will feel when you achieve it. There will be obstacles, and there will be doubters. There will be mistakes. But with hard work, hustle, and determination, there will be no limits. Right here, right now, in this very moment, the greatest gift that you can give yourself is to decide without any apology to commit to your journey and not the outcome. Do not let fear dictate your path. Fear is what blinds us. Fear is what holds us in place. The greatest way to predict your future is to invent it. I encourage you to be everything that you want to be, no matter what it is. I encourage you to see the world and experience life. I encourage you to live without regret and without fear. I encourage you to find yourself and share that wonderful person with the rest of the world. Take a risk. You never know what might be waiting for you around the next corner. Have the courage to accept that you're not perfect because no one is. Dream big. It's been said you cannot put a full life into a small dream. You don't receive respect, you earn it. Face fear, hustle, and be kind. And always stay humble. I want to remind you of something that I have reminded several of the graduating classes that have come before you. This school, this community, this is the house that built you. Each of you possess the GCMS integrity and spirit of true grit and determination. This forms your foundation. And that foundation, my friends, will carry you through any situation that you may face, no matter how difficult. Any struggle, any fear, any failure, any success. Never forget the house that built you. Never forget where you came from. And never forget that you can come home again. Congratulations, class of 2020. You made it.
Greetings, GCMS class of 2020. It was just 4 short years ago that I took my cell phone out of my pocket at an 8th grade promotion ceremony, turned around and took a selfie with all of you in the background. And now I'm presenting a video to celebrate your graduation versus having the honor and opportunity to shake your hands as you walk across the stage. What a unique conclusion you have had to your time here at GCMS. We have all had to endure some great challenges, changes, and adjustments to what has long been known as traditional endings to a school year and a school career. But this is not a negative. This is an opportunity to embrace the challenges that life throws at all of us. You're not gathered in a gym or throwing your caps or shaking my hand, but instead you have been celebrated and memorialized in ways that have never been seen before and likely will never be seen again. Success in life is often defined by one's ability to evolve, grow, change, and deal with adversity. You are all very well equipped. Now is the time to look forward and focus your energy and talents on the things that you love, the people that you love, and the next stage in your life. President Josh Johnson, GCMS school board members, I verified that all of the students have met the graduation requirements for the state of Illinois and the Gibson City Melvin Sibley Community Unit School District. It is my pleasure to recommend them for graduation from Gibson City Melvin Sibley High School. Congratulations to all of you. I'm proud of you.
Hello to the graduates of 2020 and their friends and families. My name is Ethan Freehill, and I'm here to deliver the farewell address of the 2020 class graduation. I must first disclaim that this speech is very misleading, as a more proper title would be the Thank You, Reminisce, and Good Luck speech, but I suppose that doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well. And I will be doing the speech in true Midwestern fashion, where instead of saying a simple goodbye and leaving, I will stand halfway out the metaphorical door and do everything in my power to say anything but goodbye. The first order of business is to express very meaningful thank yous, the main set going to the teachers and staff. Now, this isn't just high school exclusive. I'd be doing myself and my class a disservice if I didn't pay my respects to my roots. And yes, that means we're going back to the teachers who taught us to write our names and not eat paste in busy hands in other pre-K classes. Then to the elementary school, where the teachers there sculpted us from the finest of line leaders into voice-cracking preteens ready for middle school. The middle school staff then took that teenage awkwardness, used their vast knowledge of subjects, sprinkled in a couple of gosh darn it, and had crafted the perfect, freshmen. Ready for high school. As for the high school, the staff has made the past 4 years fantastic and have now prepared us to be adults, ready to take on the world with the knowledge that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. In all seriousness, thank you to all the teachers and staff through this journey. You've all been a great influence to us all. I must also express my sincerest thank yous to this community as well. The GCMS community is simply one of the best in the world. 2020 has not been a kind year, and there are plenty of words to describe how I feel about it all, but there is a censor on this family-friendly program, so I will just say it's been very icky and not fun. You all have made this class very happy with the support you've shown us all these years, but especially so in these past months. We couldn't ask for a better group of people, and I wanted you all to know that. And for my peers, the class of 2020, thank you all for being so supportive and helpful to one another. I know we all have differences, but we are a family after all. We've had each other's backs, especially when it comes to homecoming. And in this world, it's hard to find people you can count on as much as we could count on each other. And I don't expect graduation to change that either. I believe we'll be there for each other later in life, and I believe we'll be there for the new friends we meet along the way. My only wish now is to wish you all good luck in your future endeavors. Whether the next step is in the military, the workforce, college, or unknown, I know you all will do great and be very successful. The future looks bright with this 2020 vision after all. Now that I've talked your ears off in true Midwestern fashion, I will now say goodbye and adios ustedes!
Okay, we're doing this again because my mom walked in on me. Yeah. Okay. Here we gather side by side, blessed with joy and filled with pride. Precious memories of the past, treasured as we hold them fast. Let us now our voices raise to our school in song of praise. Friends and family always near, GCMS ever dear. Soon we'll part our separate ways, seeking dreams and future days. Hopes and visions we all share, friends and loved ones giving care. Lift our hearts in truth and trust to a new day as we must. Faith that keeps us always near, GCMS ever dear.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. You are now the 27th graduating class of Gibson City Melvin Sibley High School. We are very proud of you and wish you the very best. Congratulations.